Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do a character guide on Yang. Yang is a pretty popular character from the Luna Freya banners. I think Yang is one of the better side characters to pick up here. I think there's a lot of use for him. Once again, it's going to depend on what your box looks like and what you need, but if you're lacking follow-up or counter characters, Yang could be a pretty decent pickup, right? So first, let's go ahead and take a look at his calls here. His calls really aren't crazy. I don't really see a lot. Like, there's minute use for it, but for the most part, like, Yang is a call you're not really going to use. Kick literally is just a AoE attack, and that's it. It just doesn't attack. It doesn't really do any buffs or anything to the party. The Oboro strike does a little bit, so it's going to do a big attack. And then the big thing here that it does is for one turn, and it's only one turn, it basically gives the party an effect where they can't be broken by normal Brave attacks. There could be some strategy to that, but if you're just trying to like mitigate damage, you might as well just bring like Raijin, right? Or bring a call like that that's just flat out gonna prevent damage or paralyze or delete turns. So I really don't see. So don't summon for Yang for his call. Like if you're summoning for Yang, like you want to use him in the party pretty much, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and look at Yang's. We're gonna look at his passives and we're gonna look at his spheres. So my Yang right now, I would say my Yang is a pretty standard like build for in terms of how much I've invested. It's a pretty standard investment. That's the word I'm looking for, is investment here. So basically I have all of his weapons up to his LD maxed out, which is basically all he's got, right? I only have him force enhanced to 10. So if you really like him, you could force enhance him to 30 to make him a little bit stronger. And then I do have a maxed out Ultima weapon on him. That's basically like ready to go for Tifa. Like that's what it's there for pretty much. But since I have it, I'll throw it on Yang for the showcase, make him look a little bit better. And then we'll go ahead. Let's just look at his artifacts right now. So Yang is a super old character, so he's just really basic. He doesn't have like a crazy C50 passive. So literally with Yang, you just want to do attack, 108, max brave, 330. And these two are like his best stats to get. Attack is very important on Yang because one is he's meant to be a damage dealer, and he's going to be attacking a lot, so he's going to be doing a lot of attacks. But the other thing is his brave gains scale off of attack, actually. So you really want to like maximize the amount of attack you're giving Yang to scale on that. And then he does have some brave gains that scale on HP damage. Well, how do you get more HP damage? You get it through more attack and through more max brave, because the more max brave you have, the more HP damage you can hold. So attack and max brave really are the two stats you want to focus on with him, but attack would be number one priority. So if you can't get attack 108, max brave 330, just do attack 108 in anything, and then use that to hold you over until you get some max braves, but otherwise attack is his most important stat. Let's go ahead and look at his spheres. So you can tell the game screams at you what type of character they are, especially if they give you 3 A spheres. The A spheres are damage spheres, they're attack spheres. So Yang is meant to be a damage dealer. Really, all you really want to do here, go through your box, look at the millions of spheres you have. A spheres are the most common, so you're going to have a lot of them. Just really focus on attack. Now, normally on A slot, I say attack or brave damage or physical attack with a character like this, but actually, like, normal attack would be your highest priority because his brave gains on attack, those technically don't scale with physical attack and they don't scale with brave damage. Now, doing more brave damage can help you do more HP damage, which can impact some of the brave, but I would just focus on straight up attack. So any sphere that says increases attack, I think you're going to be good. Yang's own is actually a pretty premium one on him. When you do a crit, you're getting max brave and attack. So if you can get max brave and attack on the same sphere, those would be like the absolute best ones to get. So if you just got Yang in this cycle and you like max out his EX, you'll have one of these. So I think that's a really good one to throw on him. Otherwise, just pick whatever you want that has attack on it. So for example, I have a Cyan one here, which does attack and like brave limit. And then I've got a Yuri one, which is max brave and attack. So you can see I was really focusing on max brave and attack when I put his A spheres together. So that's kind of what you want to look at there. So let's go ahead and hop into the showcase. And guys, this is going to be a really easy showcase because Yang is super easy. The thing with some of these old characters is their kits are like super basic, but they just up the stats to make them more relevant, right? And he's still good. Like, you don't have to have a complex kit to be good. So Yang is just a super fun, easy to use character, very simple to play, very simple kit. it's going to be very easy to explain him to you guys here. So let's go ahead and hop in. Now, I'm running a very specific team build here. Part of what I want to do is not just explain how to use Yang, but show you like something you can abuse with a character like Yang. So what I'm doing is I'm running Luna Freya in my middle slot, and I'm running Tidus in my right slot, and Yang in my left slot. Now remember, the left slot is your heavy prayer buff. So a character like Yang is a character, if you're using with Luna Freya, you want to prioritize the heavy buff on Yang, because he's going to be doing a ton of attacks, and as an off-turn damage dealer, you could have your player on the right, i.e. Tidus in this case, spamming a ton of turns and allowing Yang to go off and do crazy, while Yang just sits and attacks with that heavy prayer buff doing a lot of damage, right? So what I'll do, so we'll see what the turn order looks like, but I would like to like have Yang maybe attack a couple times without the heavy prayer on, just so you guys can see what his damage is like, and then we can put heavy prayer on to see how the damage changes, right? So with Tidus, I'm not going to do anything crazy here. We'll just we'll just pop his EX. That's fine. Let's just pop that. Okay, and then we're going to get a turn with Luna Freya. So what I'm going to do with Luna Freya is I'm actually not going to put a prayer buff on anybody yet. So we just saw a counter. Actually, no, we saw a counter to that. That was 151k. So we did see one. So let's just right away, let's go ahead and let's just put heavy prayer on Yang. So we saw the damage was 151k AoE. Let's put heavy prayer on Yang, and we'll just see like the difference of how his turn, how his damage works. Now the thing that's kind of cool about Yang is he's kind of a hybrid. He's an off-turn damage dealer, but also has counters. Now his counters only trigger, like it's not guaranteed, but basically anytime Yang takes Brave damage from an enemy, or Brave or HP damage, he has a 70% chance to counter. And it's not a buff or anything you have to put on. He just gets it from his C50. So as long as you have his crystal levels up, he just always will have that. So that's nice utility, but I wouldn't think of Yang as a primary counter character. Think of him as an off-turn damage dealer with counters as a bonus. So I wouldn't like bring Yang with Reno and say, oh, I'm going to abuse Reno with Yang. He's not. You still would rather do like Oron for that, right? But if you're doing like a Cam combo and you want Yang doing off turn while you're doing a burst phase with Cam, then yes, that's the type of a place you want to use him, right? All right, so Luna Freya's got another turn here. Let's just do an energy heal. Okay. And then actually, let's just pop the LD, because when we pop the LD, I mean, it's going to give Luna Freya another turn, but this should, you know, we already gave Yang the heavy buff, but we'll just apply it again. That's fine, or the heavy prayer, I should say. All right, and then Luna Freya is going to steal turns. Now look at that. We went up to 216k AoE. So we just gained like 60k HP damage just by him having the heavy prayer buff on. So that's just kind of in action, showing you how that buff can affect a character. And that damage might not seem crazy, but Yang is going to be attacking a lot. So look now, just with Luna Freya spamming turns, she can now just go crazy and do like whatever attack she wants. And Yang is just going to keep following up, right? So part of this showcase is just showing what Yang can bring to the party with other characters. So he's just going to keep tossing those out. And Yang will do those not only on your actions, but on enemy actions as well. So he can just spam that a lot, right? Let's go ahead and let's just pop a BT effect here with Luna Freya. Why not? And then what we'll do is we'll let Yang get an actual turn here. So normally what you want to do with Yang is just like not let him take a lot of turns. But we'll kind of do some attacks here and there just so you can kind of see what his kit does, right? All right, so we did that. And then there you go, another follow-up. Okay, and damage increasing. He's up to 300k now. Now that's just showing you the difference of Luna Freya's BT effect. Now we're doing, so from the start of the fight, we're doing 150k HP damage AO, and now we're doing 300k. So we've basically doubled Yang's damage just from Luna Freya's heavy buff and her BT effect. So that's looking really, really nice there, right? Let's go ahead. Let's just do the Frigid again, I suppose. Yeah, let's just do that. All right. So then what's going to happen is Yang's going to get a turn here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pop his LD. And I'll just explain what his LD does, because that's really his most important button. Like, honestly, with Yang, in some fights, you might not even touch the 15 and 35. I'll still show him off here. But really, it's just you use his LD and you just let him off turn. Very similar to, like, Cisne, right? Also, his AA will give some nice generic buffs, and then it does recover skill uses of his kick attack. So he has like insane longevity because one, he's a slower character, so you're not going to be attacking with him as much. Anyways, you just want his off turn. And you're not going to have to press those buttons very much, right? But let's use the LD because that's his most important button. So we'll just show that off here. And by the way, Yang starts with everything on turn. So you don't have to open with the LD like I'm doing it here. That's just showing you. And he even follows up his own attack. So there he is, like 300k AoE. Now Tidus and Lunafreya could just go to town and just spam turns and turns and turns and let him off turn, right? Now, the LD specifically, he does a big AoE attack, which you just saw there. And he's Brave gaining, right? So he's Brave gaining. He Brave gains at the beginning, scaled on attack. And then in between his HP dumps, he Brave gains scaled on how much HP damage he does. So attack is just going to help drive all of that, which is why the attack is so important. So the big buff he gets here is called Monastic Secrets. So when you look at Yang, the main buff you want to upkeep is this Monastic Secrets. It's an 8-turn buff, and what this does is this what basically gives him the follow-ups. And then it also is a nice party attack and overflow up. So it's very good like a support as well, right? The other thing that Monastic Secrets does is while this 8-turn buff is up, this is what allows the party not to be broken by Brave damage. So that's actually like, it's got a lot packed in there, right? It's really, really nice. The biggest update that Yang got was his Monastic Secrets used to only be a 2-turn buff. So it was like literally you had it, and then like you had to like go crazy with other characters and not give him a turn to like even get anything out of it. But with 8 turns, he can have this up for like a 90-turn fight basically, depending on how slow, how much you let the other characters go. But like he can pretty much upkeep this the entire time, which is what you want to do, right? So now I could go here with Tidus now. He's going to be able to spam free turns from Lunafreya, and you're going to see every time Tidus does something, Yang's just going to go crazy. And Lunafreya just enabling both characters to do a lot of damage, right? So we'll just do that. I could do quick hits for automatic free turns anyway with Tidus. We could do LD for a bunch of free turns. Let's do his BT actually and just get that going. This will give Tidus double follow-ups, his double shots basically, which is very cool. Allow him to do more damage. So normally what you do is I could just, at this point, like he's ready, right? Like I can just go crazy with the other characters. The nice thing about Monastic Secrets being 8 turns, you don't feel that pressure anymore that I've got to like not let Yang take a turn. By the way, now he's up to 350k AoE because now Tidus has a burst effect up. So when you stack burst effects, that'll make characters look really nasty also. So with Tidus, we'll just do a regular attack here. So it's okay to let Yang get turns now, and you don't feel like you always have to press that LD button. So you will be using his 15 and 35 more just because you want to do stuff with damage, but they're really not the most important parts of his kits. But yeah, Yang just turn after turn now is just dishing out damage, right? Sure, let's go ahead and EX with Lunafreya. And then I'm going to intentionally like not put any more quickness buffs on quickness prayers on anyone, because I just want to show off Yang's moves here, right? Basically. I think you get the whole idea. Just it's that standard off-turn strategy. You just attack a lot with the other characters. But in a force time situation where like you have say Machina going during a cam burst and then Yang is like kicking in between, like yeah, that's gonna help you do a lot of damage, right? So we pretty much talked about everything except the 15 and 35. So let's go ahead and do the 35. So his 35 has high turn rate. It's not instant turn rate, but this is focus. So let's go ahead and press that. Basically, it's going to do a Brave gain scaled on attack. So once again, why attack is important. It's going to do an AoE attack here. And he's going to be kicking with his, follow-ups from Monastic Secrets, which is very good. And then this gives him a really nice 8-turn attack up and max Brave up. So it's like very basic, right? It's not like a specially named buff or anything like that. But the big thing is from this focus, he gets Kick Plus. So his 15 CP is called Kick. If you ever see that saying just Kick, you want to make sure you use Focus, because that means you got to refresh that. And you want to always have that Kick Plus going. Let's go ahead and just Energy Rain with Tidus, and then we'll have Yang back up. Okay. And the thing with like Tidus, you don't even need Lunafreya, right? He's just a self-sufficient speed character, like him and Terra, like those are those type of characters. But you could take any character in that spot. Like you could put Machina there and turn Machina into a speed character because Lunafreya can enable him with the Quick Prayer, right? Alright, so then here's Kick Plus. This Kick Plus is pretty much your main AoE Brave Shave attack, and it's literally the thing he's been doing, like from all of his follow-ups, right? His follow-up version actually did more damage than the actual kick. But that's it. That's how you play Yang. You make sure his LD buff is up, and you kick a lot. That's all you really have to do. So if you like this playstyle, if you like this kind of like You know, he's kind of sitting to the side character. He's not always the most active character. He just enables the party to do damage. He's a cool character. Actually, let's let the enemies attack. Because we can see if, like, the... You know, because remember, he's protecting us from taking brave damage, right? Or from... So right there, Luna Freya had 0 brave. And if you saw there, she took brave damage and did not get broken. So that was Yang. That was Yang protecting there, right? And then you saw Yang, when the enemy acted, he also followed up. They're actually targeting Yang right now. So let's let Yang get hit. And let's see if his actual counter triggers. Remember, it's a 70% chance. So let's get that in the video as well while we're at it. Oh, of course he's going to delay. That's fine. We'll let Yang just take another turn and then let the enemies go. But yeah, he's just... He's kick. He's like crazy. Sure. Oh, we didn't show the EX. So good. Yeah, we got to show the EX, right? We haven't shown everything yet. So the EX, really, it's just a big attack. And then he does get a special buff from it called Wife's Encouragement. And that Wife's Encouragement buff basically just has attack up, HP damage up, and overflow stolen up for himself. So once again, just gives him good things. So you do want to press that when it's up for sure. Let's see what kind of damage here we get on the EX. Now that he's got his C90. It should be pretty good damage, actually. And plus, we got pretty good buffs up right now. Oh, yeah, 768k. So, yeah, that was very good. And then, combining with the follow-up, that was like a mil damage on his EX. And there you go. There was a counter right there. So, we got that. Oh, he didn't get the actual counter, though. So, what happens is when the enemies attack, right, he will always do, like, his big kick thing that he's been doing. That's his follow-up. But if you actually trigger the counter, it will say counter, and he does even another additional attack. And he could have done it, and I missed it because I'm like kind of looking back and forth here. Let me let the enemies attack a couple more times. Because the A enemy is also targeting Yang. Let's see if we can get his actual counter to trigger. It's 70%, so it should trigger most of the time, right? So yeah, if it says additional attack from Monastic Secrets, that's his normal one that he always gets. Like I said, it will actually say counter. So let's check it out again. All right, please don't jet shot. Okay, I don't want to delay here. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's really pay attention. So the enemy now is going to attack Yang. Oh, he's going to gaze him. Okay, so there's that. And then give me the counter. He did not get the counter. Okay, so he will kick and counter if that actually happens, right? Sure, let's go and pop the LD here. I guess I could have given him like a lock call to like really test it, but yeah, now they're just doing all single target. But yeah, he can counter as well. Once again, it's not guaranteed, so just don't depend on that for him. But obviously, his main thing is like you just see, he's just following up. Anytime there's an action, he's just doing a big AoE kick. Once again, the damage isn't always overwhelming, but it definitely adds up over time. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of Yang. I think he's a very fun character. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.